What Erika Kirk did on her honeymoon has the MAGA world in total panic mode. They are crashing out because this lie has been busted open, all because of a little college graduation this weekend. And honestly, it seems like they're just letting anyone speak at college graduations these days, so long as you have enough free time because you weren't actually busy attending your late husband's murder trial. You know, the one that you asked to speed up so we can get the show on the road, so you can get back to selling things on stages and telling women to go get knocked up.
Charlie would often encourage people, like Dr. Arnn said, to get married young, not rushed, but young.
To Erika Kirk, family values is expediting your dead husband's legal paperwork, getting that out of the way so you can go back to being a CEO.
Before I met Charlie, I had my own company, and I still do.
Erika Kirk was generous enough to take a break from trying to move copies of The College Scam to go speak at Hillsdale College this weekend. And can you imagine making it through college 4 or 5, maybe 6 years of actual work, maybe being sad to graduate and move out of your little college community with all your best friends, and then right at the finish line, you've passed finals, but the school hits you with one final challenge. Bam, a lecture from Erika Kirk, the last thing standing between you and your degree. Honestly, I just tell them, you can have it.
Hillsdale wants people to see Erika Kirk as a commencement speaker, but protesters see something else. The CEO of Turning Point USA, a national right-wing youth machine, being handed a graduation stage in Michigan.
It's not worth it. You can keep the degree. But that's not even the worst part, because the uprising waiting outside for her at this college tells you everything you need to know. And who else the school has been handing honorary degrees to tells you the rest. We're talking about a list that includes the guy who has been in the Senate since 1985, who's famous for taking tumbles and periodically staring into the abyss for several minutes at a time while the world waits for him to remember what century he's in. And then there's the other guy who also got an honorary degree from this prestigious college. This guy was the one that fled his state not once but twice during a climate crisis to go sit his fat ass on a beach in Cancun while his constituents were literally freezing to death in their living rooms. And none of that is the juicy part, because what she revealed about her honeymoon and her honeymoon night, a story she told with a straight face to 5,000 people, changes everything. And I don't know if Jesus knows about this story, but by the end of this video, I'm going to show you how one romantic antidote proves Erika Kirk is a grieving widow. She is a managed asset being activated by a man with a bat phone. Hold that thought, because we need to show you how the crowd actually reacted first. And real quick, I'm Lauren Paritra. Willa Paritra and I run this entire operation, network free and independent, every single day out of pure principle and an absolute refusal to ever let Katie Miller catch up on us. We are closing in at the time of this recording at 100,000 subscribers. We're not slowing down. So we're going to ask you to please subscribe. Every sub, every follow, every comment, 6 words or more, I see it all. Every follow across wherever you listen to your podcasts. I've been told it creates a protective barrier between you and Stephen Miller taking up residency and your Tupperware drawer. Just sitting there ranting about 4-year-olds in Texas. Stay safe, subscribe. Let's work towards a timeline where that man is in a windowless cage. So Hillsdale College is a private school in Michigan that refuses federal funding so that way they can maintain total independence, air quotes, which is just code for a safe space for people who think enlightenment was a mistake. But the community isn't buying their brochures. According to the Hillsdale Daily News, just over 36 demonstrators gathered near the Hillsdale County Courthouse for several hours before Erika Kirk was even slated to touch the podium. Think about that. These people were standing outside the courthouse, very pointed choice of scenery given Erika Kirk's current legal distractions, if you will, hours ahead of time, just to make sure she felt the room. Among them was a 72-year-old woman standing in the cold with a sign quoting Charlie Kirk's own words back at the school. The words were, "Women should be thinking about marriage and kids instead of college degrees." It's hilarious, isn't it? To tell women that their education is a waste of time at the exact moment that they're graduating. Wait until you hear the Erika story and what she used to justify all of this irony. But before we get to the honeymoon, look who was sitting on that stage with her. The vibe in the room was heavy, especially considering the rumors swirling since Charlie got in September. Everyone has a theory, and Erika's sudden rise to the CEO of Turning Point USA isn't exactly silencing the people who think she has a very interesting motive. In her speech, Erika looked at the crowd and deadass said this without a hint of irony.
To the men, you are called to provide. You are called to lead, to anchor your families in strength and consistency. To the women, you are called to nurture, to build, to shape lives with wisdom and endurance.
AKA, women, you are responsible for men being adults and taking care of them and maybe even wiping their asses. That's more or less what she said. And she told people this, people who just spend a fortune on a degree to get married and forget about all that and have children, just go get knocked up. Children, the thing you can't afford because you have student loans and we live in a country without paid family leave. This is coming from a woman who runs a national political machine and holds allegedly, questionably, 2 degrees of her own. We'll come back to, we have a whole series on it. And she's currently living a life that is the literal opposite of everything she's trying to say. She's telling people, go be a trad wife. And the crazy part, she used a specific moment from her honeymoon to prove she actually believes this, a moment that should have been a red flag, but she framed it as a highlight. And real quick, today's episode is brought to you by Brickhouse Nutrition. Everyone's talking about weight loss injections right now because the results are dramatic. They work by lowering blood sugar and reducing appetite. But what if you want those results without painful weekly injections or the intense side effects that people keep reporting? That's why doctors created Lean. The studied ingredients in Lean have been shown to lower blood sugar, burn fat by converting it into energy, and curb your appetite so you are genuinely not as hungry. This is not for the casual dieter with a few pounds to lose. The doctors at Brickhouse Nutrition created Lean for frustrated dieters with 10 or more pounds to lose who want real results without the needle. Get started with 20% off and free rush shipping at visittakelean.com and use code Lauren, that's LOREN, at checkout. Again, the promo code is LOREN at takelean.com. Okay, so watch the way Larry Arnn introduced her.
Now Erika and her colleagues, Mikey McCoy is here today and some others. They're awesome people. A lost generation needs some help. And now it's Erika's job to help give it to them.
Larry Arnn isn't just a college president. If you're not familiar, good on you. He is the man, he's the architect. He led the commission to rewrite American history. What he's doing right now with Erika Kirk, he's treating her like an asset. And the honorary degrees list that this man has handed out, the Senate tumbler, Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruzin for a bruisin', and now Erika Kirk. She's a recipient of this network of prestiged worst people on planet Earth. Charlie Kirk even said it himself. College is a liberal trap, I think is his exact words. And now his widow is on that stage being activated by the man who interrupted her honeymoon. Are you ready for the story? Because this is the part where the independent widow mask completely falls off. Everyone laughed at this honeymoon story at the time, but it actually gives away a whole entire plot that we haven't even tapped into yet. Erika told the crowd on their honeymoon, they left their devices at home for kind of a full presence kind of thing, just bragging about being phone free, except for the bat phone.
When we got married and we went to our honeymoon the next day, we decided for our honeymoon that it would be a disconnected honeymoon, meaning no computers, no cell phones, just being able to pour into each other, plan out what our family life would look like, what type of parents we want to be, what type of spouse we want to be, so really just pour into each other. And so, again, no phones, but at the time, Charlie's assistant gave Charlie a bat phone for emergencies, so there was only emergency phone numbers on this phone.
The emergency that interrupted their honeymoon?
When we arrive, we go straight to the gym, because that's what we did, and I'm on one side of the gym, Charlie's on the other, and then all of a sudden, I was thinking, he pulled out the bat phone. And I was like, okay, maybe he's gonna put on some music. He loved classic rock. I was like, maybe he's gonna put on some music. So I'm on the treadmill, he's over in the weights, and all of a sudden I hear Dr. Arnn's voice coming from the side of the room. And so I walk over to him, and I was like, baby, what are you listening to? He goes, I know. He was like, I'm almost done. He's like, I have to finish just a few more lectures from Dr. Arnn. I have a few more certificates I have to get from my online courses at Hillsdale. We're almost there. I can't skip him. I was like, baby, you do what you got to do.
I'm sorry. Let's drag this for a second. Erika Kirk, a woman with allegedly a JD, a law degree, and a political science degree, again, questionable, stood at a podium and told young women that they're calling is to nurture and stay home. Meanwhile, she's accepting an honorary doctorate for a man who spent his time on earth telling people college is a liberal scam. And Charlie Kirk literally wrote an entire book telling people not to go to college. Yet here she is, collecting a degree for him. It's a participation trophy from the very institution he told everyone to avoid. And she didn't tell that honeymoon story because she thought it was cute. She told it because that's the thesis. She's proving she will always prioritize the mission and the manager over everything else, even her own marriage. She watched her husband do work for this Larry on their honeymoon and found it charming. No way. MAGA is crashing out over this. She is the ideal asset, saying she's supportive and just staying silent during working hours and just ready to tap in and be called forth whenever that bat phone rings.
But I enjoyed it because I was learning about Churchill too. When he was working out, I was working out. It was a great little bonding moment. But every time Charlie finished a Hillsdale program, he would screenshot the certificate of completion and he would send them to me every time. I know he would send them to the team as well.
The audience kept clapping, but the hypocrisy was very loud for anyone paying a lick of attention. Really? Charlie Kirk said, don't go to college, all these things, and then they put Erika Kirk up on a stage? No. And I want to know what you guys think. Do you get equally annoyed that Erika Kirk is saying, hey, women, give up your career, go be nothing, while doing the opposite of that?
You know, I get this question too of, well, you know, you were a stay-at-home mom and all this stuff, like that's what you should go back to doing or something like that.
Well, she's like, go have babies and feed your husband. Erika, where are yours? What's going on here? I don't understand. I want to know what you guys think. Again, I am Lauren P. across all social channels. Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you subscribe, hit subscribe, stay safe from Stephen Miller. You never know when he's going to be scurrying across the wall or coming out of your drain. Just play it safe. You heard it here first.